So it has been a couple of days since the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, made a nice little speech about corruption. And I don't know about you guys, but he said a few things that got me thinking.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say.
So corruption, he points out, has wounded our democracy and shaken people's faith in our institutions. I find this quite funny, considering that the history of the South African roads is notorious for its taxis, right? And I have been quoted time and time again, but to be calling these bastards lawless motherfuckers. But they are completely and utterly lawless. It's not like I live in Johannesburg, near around the Santini area, which is a quite highly developed area as well. Now, the kind of taxi issues we see here are just more along the lines of these guys in the height of highway traffic. They will just take the hard shoulder no matter what. They don't have to have an emergency. They will just take the hard shoulder, for an example, right? But this will happen every single time they go on the highway. They will never just sit in traffic. They will just always find the shortest route possible. Now, it's a little bit more than just that, right? There are killings going on the roads for taxi routes on the major open highways between the provinces of the country. But what astounded me is that the other day I also learned that Cyril Ramaphosa owns a taxi company. That means that these have actually somehow gotten someone at the top of the game, calling the shots in the country. The hell? We screwed them. Here is a guy that literally operates in the most corrupt business in our country. Technically a legal criminal operation for anyone that's willing to get into it. So Cyril Ramaphosa's major point during this entire speech is that the greatest damage will be held to the belief in democracy itself, which I find just to be one of those statements of like, when you see a bad guy in a movie and he is working in tandem with the good guy who's trying to hunt him down, but the good guy doesn't know that he's hunting the guy that's helping him, right? Prime example, Hannibal Lecter. He's in parliament now. He works for a corrupt business. He operates in a corrupt industry, and now he's got the nerve to come and tell us that he doesn't play by corrupt rules. Well, I was amazed to find out that we even got this bastard in power, really. But anyway, so the writer of this article says many people contributing to our national conversation have suggested that democracy is failing. English language talk radio is replete. English language talk radio. English language talk radio. Just by the way, in South Africa, we have got over 12 official languages. So, English language talk radio is replete with calls from people who believe that a dictatorship may be better. So, considering what some of these people are saying, is that like a dictatorship might be better. I think these people, look, they're just being a little bit extreme. The whole point of the argument right now is that corruption in South Africa is rampant, but one thing we need to remember as South Africans is that corruption runs rampant everywhere. It's a part of politics, for fuck's sakes. Politicians play a game which is essentially a popularity contest to try and gain power over who runs everything. So Ramaphosa also says that this corruption fight is going to take a society-wide response. And yes, I agree with that. But I do have one opinion on that matter. That is that South Africa is also a capitalist society. And I view capitalism as one of those things that is just actually really going to power corruption. It is a driving force of corruption. You can't have capitalism without corruption running around. There is a very, very fine difference between corruption and capitalism, actually, in my head. Fuck it, hold on. Oxford English Dictionary. I'm speaking the Queen's English. Those will tell me what those words mean. Capitalism. Capitalism, the condition of possessing capital or using it for production, a system of society based on this dominance of private capitalists. Now I want to find corruption. Corruptible, corruption. The destruction or spoiling of anything by disintegration or decomposition, putrefaction. Okay, so leaving out the fact that the definition of corruption is something I was totally unaware of and not expecting that. Anyway, let's get back to this Cyril Ramaphosa thing of mine. So anyway, my entire point being is that in a capitalist country, you are going to have a few individuals that will tend towards corruptive deals. And I'm pretty sure that happens the same in places like the UK and America, because he who is the highest bidder buys the president's time. ANC direct language, his refusal to tell the truth extends to the point of ridiculous extreme, where as long as someone has not exhausted the last instance of appeal, that person cannot be seen as a criminal. This extends to obvious criminals who are often freed upon technicalities, and have even end up serving in our parliament. Right. This, coupled with the chaos in our prospecting authorities and the use of Stalingard tactics, which are in turn fueled and paid for by money from corruption, that's what I'm saying, renders many a powerful person an untouchable person. That's how you live in the US. It's not. So just by the way, as a South African, just remember this is happening everywhere. Okay? But look, this whole thing has got me thinking about something I heard Dr. Jordan B. Peterson say once upon a time. And it has to do with abuse in families, right? Just try to follow me with this one, right? So, if you were to have one father with 3 children that he abuses, right? And then those 3 kids have 3 kids themselves. If this aggressive tendency in human beings was a genetic thing, it would be passed on hereditally to the next generation. That meaning that the abuse would continue. So you would have one abuser the first generation, 3 abusers the next generation, and 9 abusers the next generation. And that doesn't happen, right? Actually, what happens is that the abusers come down. It happens less and less as we go along through the generations. It hasn't stopped completely, don't get me wrong, but it does lower as the generations go along. Now, thinking of that, given that in the back of my fucking head, I was now thinking, then I wonder if that will happen. It will probably happen throughout our society in terms of corruption. As a global society, the more people we have that get screwed over by corruption or see it happening, you know, considering that corruption is essentially decomposition, English language, we'll see fewer and fewer corrupt individuals in our society. Okay, that's where I'm going with it. Right now, there is a case going on not against Cyril Ramaphosa, involving Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, the case is regarding his Phala farm, or Phala farm, one of the two. Now, at the farm, he had 580,000 rand stolen from a limousine parked on the farm. And the claims have been made that the 580,000 was given to him so that the buyer was serious. It was a deposit to show that the buyer was serious to buy 20 buffalo. The average cost of 20 buffalo in this country is 25,000 rand. 20 times 25,000 is 500,000. So he overpaid by 80 grand. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Guys, thank you for watching. Like the video if you haven't done already. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, that motherfucker could also do something about the goddamn load shedding. Guys, thank you.